Well, the IPL media auctions are out and Viacom18 has won the digital rights to broadcast the Indian Premier League for the next 5 years. It was a big event, really. More than the IPL, I think the focus was on the auctions itself. The digital rights cost more than TV rights for the first time ever and sold at a 95% premium to the base price, while Star India won the TV broadcast rights, which was sold at a premium of 30% to the base price. Karan Taurani, the Senior Vice President and Research Analyst at Elara Securities, and Professor S. Raghunath at IIM Bangalore join in to discuss this. Professor Raghunath, thanks a lot for joining in. Karan, welcome to the show as well. I want to start with you, Professor Raghunath, because this time, for the first time, I think the digital rights were more coveted than TV rights. What do you see as the way forward? I mean, TV viewership is not growing, but most money is still directed at the moment towards TV ads. Will Star be able to rake in the money?
Absolutely. We must notice that Tier 2, Tier 3 cities and the rural areas continue to have patchy internet connections, and therefore TV still rules the roost if you were to look at the greater India. While streaming obviously is growing, and all of us know that the clip at which it is growing, it is enabling fans to catch live action, view recordings, have conversations, and the entire market space, so to say, for advertisers, precisely in trying to launch new brands and to also reconstruct and recover older brands. This is manna for them.
Right. Gentlemen, good morning. Great to have both of you here. Karan, let me come to you. It's a broader question, but with this kind of investment which is being put in, right, what does it mean for the rest of the ad ecosystem? I mean, I'm talking about the rest of the media, right? Non-IPL, non-sports media. Does it kind of suck out advertising from those sources? Because, I mean, there is so much at stake here. Your thoughts broadly before we get into specifics.
So I think if you look at it, I think the TV ecosystem or the landscape remains to be same because Star has retained the right, so they will have a bigger market share here versus peers in terms of eyeballs and in terms of the advertising revenue. As far as the digital landscape is concerned, there are going to be changes here. Typically, firstly in terms of the SVOD market, Disney Plus has got close to 44 million subscribers which are out of India basis Hotstar, and they have got a 22% market share in SVOD. And what our assessment clearly indicates that 70% of this was driven by IPL. So you will see a fall in terms of the SVOD revenue, and the numbers will probably move towards Voot or Geo platform. Whoever kind of puts up IPL on their platform. In terms of AVOD as well, there is an impact clearly because Disney Plus gets about 16%, has a control of 16% on the AVOD market. And these numbers will also probably trend down because IPL was close to 70% of the AVOD market. So there's definitely going to be a shift in terms of dollars.
Karan, sorry, what market? AVOD?
The AVOD market share for Disney Plus is about 16%.
Sorry, what is AVOD?
AVOD is advertising market on the digital platform, and SVOD is the subscription video on demand on digital platforms.
Right.
So on both the cases, there will be a decline for Star, and the decline could be very sharp, close to 40 to 50% in our view initially, because they still have other cricket content on their platform. Once that also goes away, the decline could be as sharp as 70%.
No, Karan, my question was basically, fair enough, that's a very exhaustive look at specifics. But what happens to non-sports media and advertising dollars there? Because, advertisers, companies will have to spend a lot more for each 10-second spot, right? At the end of the day, for these companies which have want to make money, to be profitable. So what happens to ad money spent on non-sports media, your sense?
So if you look at the advertising market, on digital, clearly, 60% of the market is either driven by aggregator type of content, which is in the likes of YouTube, MX Player, or probably by the sports-based OTT platform, which is like Disney Plus. So, because of this high content cost, definitely you will see a rise in terms of the pricing, for the digital part of IPL. And in my view, this is largely factored in because we are expecting a growth of 30% on AVOD revenue, for the platform, who has bought the IPL rights. As far as the non-sports is concerned, that part anyways is not growing too much. So if you look at players like Z5 or a Sony Live or a Wood for that matter, before the IPL, they were largely underperforming the industry average growth rate or probably growing at par at best. So I think they will remain at 25 to 30% kind of a number in terms of growth rate, and lion's share will be extracted by the sports media.
Okay. Professor Raghunath, just one follow-up question on the point you made, which is important, right? A large part of India still consumes most of their content on TV, so most of the money is going into TV ads. What then happens with Voot? Because they've spent quite a bit to get the digital rights. Do you think digital ad money that comes in will be enough to justify the amount they've spent for the rights?
Yeah, so the point here is that what Voot can do, especially if they are looking at targeting clientele. If you are looking at targeted advertising, and if you were to really personalize value-add services that TV networks can't, and there is a fair bit of orientation required for you to realize this revenue, then definitely this is a way forward. It really costs money, but then, you are looking at a 5-year period. So I think this is extremely good in terms of digitalizing the media, especially in cricket, because that's the sport which has brought the league to the second highest valuation in the world behind NFL. So definitely it augurs well, both for ones who have really gone into this bidding exercise and the advertisers and the customers who will benefit from this.
Okay, noted that. Well, Karan, coming back to you, I wanted to talk about Sun TV. I'm looking at the market capitalization around 16,000 crores odd. Now, post this bidding, I think every IPL team will be valued at, say, 8 to around 10,000 crores odd. So there's a big delta out there, because I think they're having cash in their books of around 3,000 crores. So the core business you're valuing at what, around 4,000-5,000 crores odd. What's your take on the stock from here on? I mean, there's always been value, but now suddenly there's this additional trigger that's come in.
Right. So I think, in terms of market cap contribution, it is the highest, for Sun TV and lowest for RIL. The number for Sun TV closer to 35 to 40% of market cap. And if we do that math, that, because of each IPL team's revenue moving up by 2 to 2.2x, from the past, the numbers will probably more look towards a 650-700 crore kind of a number in terms of revenue. And basis that, even the valuations will probably double from a 4 to 5,000 crore range towards an 8 to 10,000 crores. And if you were to include the cash, I think Sun TV, the broadcasting business, is trading at very cheap valuations of about 5 times 1 year forward PR. So definitely, as a potential, there is a big delta on Sun TV if you have to factor in the valuation of the IPL team.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks a lot for joining us. This is, I'm sure, we can continue for a very, very long time, but we're going to just wrap this up for now and perhaps take it forward at a later date with both of you. Thanks a lot, Professor Raghunath as well as Karan, for joining in.